Tonight, breaking news. A death investigation is underway in Jackson County. We have the latest next. Plus, a Harrisburg man was killed in a crash on Sunday in Saline County. More coming up. And police have arrested various men for numerous charges last week. Those stories and more tonight on a Monday night edition of News 24 at 5. And good evening. After a busy weekend, we have a lot of news to get to, but we begin with breaking news in Jackson County, where a death investigation is underway after hunters found skeletal remains in woods north of Carbondale. According to the sheriff's office, on October 28th, around 12:05 p.m., they received a call from hunters saying suspected bones were found in the woods on North Marion Street, north of Carbondale city limits. Deputies responded and found the remains. Jackson County detectives, crime scene investigators, and members from the SIU Archaeology Department determined the remains were human. Investigators are working to identify them. The sheriff's office is conducting a death investigation. Anyone with information relating to the incident is asked to call the Jackson County Sheriff's Office at 618-684-2177. A Harrisburg man was killed in a crash on Sunday in Saline County. The crash happened around 3:54 p.m. on Illinois Route 34, about a mile north of Harrisburg. William W. Wasson Jr., 31, was driving a 1963 Chevrolet pickup truck when, for some unknown reason, the vehicle went off the right side of the road. The truck then came back up onto the road, crossed both lanes of Route 34, traveled off the west side of the road, and hit an embankment. Troopers report Wasson was thrown from the truck. An ambulance rushed Wasson to a local hospital and was later flown to a regional hospital where he died later in the evening. Illinois State Police says Wasson was not wearing a seatbelt, and a preliminary investigation shows alcohol was a factor in the crash. Police have arrested various men for numerous charges last week. According to police, at 3:42 a.m. in Metropolis, police stopped Dakota Richardson, 21, for vehicle tags that were not registered to his vehicle. A computer check on the driver revealed a warrant out for his arrest in connection to the unlawful use of a weapon. Police also saw a small child asleep in the back seat who was unrestrained. Richardson was charged with failure to restrain a child and unlawful use of registration. Richardson was taken to the Massac County Detention Center. Another Metropolis man was arrested on theft charges last week. According to police, at 12:20 a.m., a Metropolis officer was Donald Gilbert, 50, of Metropolis, walking out of a convenience store. Gilbert had a warrant issued by the Union County, Illinois Police for retail theft. Gilbert ran and began a foot chase with the officer. After a few blocks, Gilbert tried to climb a fence. The officer warned Gilbert to stop, but Gilbert continued and a taser was used. Gilbert was arrested and taken to the Massac County Detention Center and charged with the warrant and resisting arrest. A traffic stop resulted in several charges also in Metropolis. According to police, a Metropolis sergeant stopped a green Ford for traffic violations. A computer check found that the driver, Paul Tabb, 31, of Metropolis, revealed that his license was suspended. The sergeant could smell a strong odor of cannabis. Tabb was arrested, and a search revealed brass knuckles on his person and a bag in the vehicle containing 24 baggies of cannabis as well as other substances. Charges include driving on a suspended license, possession of cannabis with intent to deliver, and unlawful possession of brass knuckles by a felon. Additional charges are pending following a drug analysis by the Illinois State Police Crime Lab. Tabb was taken to the Massac County Detention Center. President Trump may be making another visit to our region. Internal White House sources say the president will stump for Republican U.S. Senate candidate Josh Hawley on Monday, November 5th. Cape Girardeau Police Chief Wes Blair tells us they've been told President Trump is coming, but no details on a time or location have been finalized. To the weather, where some warm conditions are on the way, but following them, it might be rainy for your Halloween. Here's Terry in with the latest. All right, thanks, Terry. And because of those chances for some Halloween thunderstorms, many southern Illinois communities have moved their Halloween festivities from Wednesday, October 31st to Tuesday, October 30th, due to the possibility of inclement weather. We have a full list of communities that have rescheduled their activities at our website, www.news24si.com, or on our Facebook page. Here's the latest in national news in your Fox News Update.
In Fox News, over 5,000 U.S. troops heading for the southern border. Lisa Brady, Fox News. They'll play a supporting role for Border Patrol as thousands of migrants head north from Central America.
We know border security is national security, and the U.S. military will advance CBP's capability to harden the border.
The head of U.S. Northern Command, General Terrence O'Shaughnessy, announcing Operation Faithful Patriot. Customs and Border Patrol Commissioner Kevin McAleenan denies it's a political move a week before the midterms.
What we saw when this group crossed the Honduras-Guatemala borders, they did it very forcefully. They pushed past the Guatemalan security forces. Even more risky was on the Guatemala-Mexico border, where it was a combination of near rioting on the bridge and then crossing illegally.
Mexico is offering some protections for asylum seekers now. The caravan of migrants still weeks away from the U.S. border. As a Pittsburgh community mourns, the accused gunman in Saturday's synagogue massacre makes his first court appearance. Fox's Bernal Scott has this live.
Lisa, Robert Bowers is being held without bond for the deaths at the Tree of Life Synagogue Saturday. He faces 29 federal counts, which were formally read in a brief hearing today. He faces state counts as well. U.S. Attorney Scott Brady says Bowers is back in court Thursday, where there will be evidence
demonstrating that Robert Bowers murdered 11 people who were exercising their religious beliefs, and that he shot or injured 6 others, including 4 of whom were police officers responding to the shooting.
The first funeral for brothers Cecil and David Rosenthal is set for tomorrow, Lisa.
Thanks, Colonel. Meantime, also making his first court appearance in Miami, the man accused of sending at least 14 mail bombs. He's due back in court Friday. Meantime, another package intercepted today in Atlanta is under investigation. This is Fox News.
Stop.
I'm Brendan Kelly, and I approve this message.
My husband got sick, and it should have been curable. We couldn't afford our health care because he had a pre-existing condition.
I didn't get that.
When he died, it was just me and my 2-year-old son. I told Congressman Boss my story, but on the 10-year anniversary of Bob's death, Mike Boss voted to strip the protections for pre-existing conditions. He voted with his party, and for the money that had put him into office, I was heartbroken.
Is it too early to start celebrating Halloween? Well, if you're celebrating by eating Reese's, then no. You're actually late. Not sorry, Reese's. I am the new DQ Hungry Up deal. 3 deals to choose from at $4, $5, or $6 with chicken strips, fries, and a mini blizzard. 3 deals for the hungry-ish, hungry, and even hangry. Because I'm not fast food, I am fan food. However you say happy holidays, say it on a cake from DQCakes.com. You can choose from hundreds of designs, and in a few easy clicks, pick a cake, pick a design, and create the perfect holiday cake. Say happy holidays at DQCakes.com.
Repeat after me. I, Mike Madigan, take you, J.B. Pritzker, as my unlawful partner in destruction to raise property taxes, corrupt government, and bankrupt Illinois' future.
Done. Deal.
I, J.B. Pritzker, take you, Mike Madigan, to honor and obey till death do us part.
Always have, always will.
By the power vested in me, I now pronounce Illinois.
Mike Madigan and J.B. Pritzker, an unholy union Illinois can't afford. There's no such thing as a vote that doesn't matter. Election day is November 6th. We need to beat Bruce Rauner because 4 years of failure is enough. Make your voice heard on Tuesday, November 6th, because your vote will impact our state for years to come. We can't afford to leave the future of Illinois to chance.
All right, thanks, Terry. It's the most beloved tradition of Halloween, trick-or-treating. And as thousands of children take to the streets to rob your home of candy, there are a few things that you, the parent, should know before letting them loose. In North America, trick-or-treating has been a Halloween tradition since the late 1920s. In Britain and Ireland, the tradition of going house to house collecting food at Halloween goes back at least as far as the 16th century, as had the tradition of people wearing costumes at Halloween. But as the tradition of trick-or-treating spread, the uprise of motorized vehicles and criminals hit an uptick, which is why we're educating you with a few tips on Halloween safety. You know the normal: stick on a costume, drive your child around town, and then go home. But before you let your child cross the street, make sure they can see out of their costumes. This is the #1 cause of Halloween incidents. If your child is wearing a mask or suit of some kind that might block their view, consider a more open costume, such as a cowboy or princess. But if you must dress in secretive attire, stay on the sidewalk to prevent any incident. Another way you can prevent your child from getting run over is to provide him or her with a flashlight to easily see, and have them put on reflectors so they can easily be seen. Lastly, make sure their costume is bright and fits well. More safety tips are to check your child's candy and never consume unwrapped treats. Also, be sure to check local sex offender registry maps to make sure your child remains safe. For more Halloween safety tips and trick-or-treating times, visit our website at www.news24si.com. To Carbondale, where SIU Carbondale is responding to changing laws and views with a new initiative on industrial hemp and medical marijuana. This would include agriculture and plant biology, along with chemistry, engineering, ecology, and other disciplines. The Cannabis Science Initiative is aimed at creating a program to support agriculture and industry. It's a response to area farmers and students interested in the opportunities presented by the growing markets for cannabis-related products. According to the university, researchers in the College of Science and College Agricultural Sciences started work securing permits and collecting information a few years ago. The first steps are expected to start in the spring with a 5-acre hemp research field. They say plans call for organizing the program around industrial hemp and medical cannabis science, along with the hemp field. Officials hope to have a program in place by next year that would lead to a certificate in medical cannabis production. Karen Midden, interim dean of the College of Agricultural Sciences, said land for the hemp research field is currently being cleared and the medical cannabis program is working its way through the approval process. The university already offered all but one of the classes included in the certificate program, potentially simplifying the effort. Officials say eventually many SIU research areas could become involved, including most agricultural programs, engineering, chemistry, business, marketing, microbiology, medicine, and sports medicine. The goal of SIU's industrial hemp effort includes the studying of feasibility of creating such an industry in Illinois. Because it was only recently made legal to grow the crop in Illinois, Carla Gage, assistant professor of weed science and agricultural systems, said not a lot is known about how it might fit in with Illinois' existing crops and crop rotations, which are largely dominated by corn and soybeans. Like with other crops, Gage hopes to study weed control issues in an industrial hemp crop. She also plans to look at hemp's required growing conditions and adaptability to southern Illinois, as well as harvest methods and impact on the environment. Gage said the 5 acres will likely be divided into individual test plots, with a portion reserved for interdisciplinary collaborations. Turning to tonight's recap, authorities have found remains in Jackson County after hunters found the remains in the woods north of Carbondale. Deputies responded and found the remains. Investigators are working to identify them. The sheriff's office is conducting a death investigation. A Harrisburg man was killed in a Saline County crash on Sunday. William W. Wasson Jr., 31, was driving his Chevrolet pickup truck when, for some unknown reason, the vehicle went off to the right side of the road. Illinois State Police says Wasson was not wearing a seatbelt, and a preliminary investigation shows alcohol was a factor in the crash. Police have arrested various men for numerous charges last week in Metropolis. Dakota Richardson, Donald Gilbert, and Paul Tabb were all arrested for various charges. They are serving time at the Massac County Detention Center. Much more local news, sports, and weather is coming up next. I'm Aaron Price. I'll see you later on tonight.